Everyone will please rise. The pledge of allegiance.
So cool.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. First item we have to do tonight is elect our officers for.
Donnie, could you please call the meeting to order?
Oh, use the order.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And do a roll call and then
Will we
we'll.
do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm secretary. I do, yes.
I am here. I will do it. Donnie Robinette. Here. Jason Bell.
Here.
I am present. Jeanette Baker.
Present.
James Kopp is not here. Don Cummings.
Present.
Jennifer Eccles.
Here.
Joe Hubbard. Here. Paul Jackman is not. We do have a quorum, Mr. President. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. So we do need to elect our 2026 line. Thank you for giving me one more opportunity to miss calling the meeting to order. So at this time, I will entertain any motions for the office of president. Yeah, nomination.
I'd like to nominate Jason Belk.
I'll second. Been moved and seconded. Do you accept?
You just nominate right now, but there's no more nominations move to close.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Gotta make sure you say it 3 times though. All right, move to close. Jason, you've been nominated as president. Do you accept?
I accept.
Meeting is yours, sir.
All right, well,
We need to vote.
Yeah, voted.
Motion to close the nomination.
Oh, I thought you meant we were done. Yes. Okay, well, let's vote.
No, there's.
Motion to close.
I know somebody said that.
I move to close the nominations.
Are you suggesting we need to do the nominations for the other offices first?
Wait, no, Jerry, you motioned to close.
Yeah, he did.
Nomination.
Yep, I second
There's a
it.
second.
Yep.
Okay, Joe, second.
I second
And
it.
then I asked Jason.
Said you take office by acclamation by accepting the nomination, being the only nominee.
okay, so I accept.
Acclamation.
Now I proceed or,
You go ahead, you're chair.
all right,
Just throw you in there.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. I feel like I need to have you need to have cue cards up here. So I guess for the position of vice president, does anybody have a nomination?
Nobody wants to fill your shoes.
Right.
Nominate Don Cummings.
I second.
So would that be a
You're the
close?
Second nomination.
A close?
I'll accept that.
Okay.
If there's no other nomination that you.
Okay.
Okay, so we move to close. All right, next position.
No,
No,
somebody has to move to close.
move to close.
I'll
All
second.
right,
Donnie and Joe. Okay.
This is different than what
All in favor.
I've done.
all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so moving on to the next role would be secretary. Does anybody have any nominations for secretary?
I nominate Jerry Spindler.
I would choose not to accept that nomination.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I will nominate Donnie Robinette.
Second.
Any other nominee?
Any other nominations?
Close.
All right. Does anybody moving to close?
I'll second.
Okay,
Wait, did somebody move to close?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Who was that?
Jason did.
Jay, he made the motion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jason and Joe. Okay.
Favor.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. And moving on to the position of treasurer.
I accept.
You accept. You accept. Okay, moving on to the position of treasurer. See, this is the 4th one and we're still gonna mess this up. All right, moving on to the position of treasurer. Are there any nominations?
I nominate Jeanette.
I will
Second.
accept that nomination.
Move to close
All
nomination.
right, moving to
I
close.
actually never got a second.
I did.
Oh, you
Jerry
did.
seconded.
All right.
I'll
Moving to
second
close.
his, I'll second his close.
All right, moving to close. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
I'm sorry, for the record, who moved and who seconded to close?
Down here.
Moved and seconded.
Yes.
He seconded the nomination, then he moved the close. I seconded the close.
Awesome.
Successfully elected your office.
Oh, wow. That was the toughest thing we're gonna do all year.
Class on that.
Here, we need cue cards here. Okay, so moving on, are there any modifications to the agenda?
Just that we elected the officers, but that's already taken place, so no further. Yeah.
Okay. The consent agenda. An approval of the agenda, previous meetings. Do we need a motion for that?
Yep.
Yeah,
All right,
I move.
so we have a second.
Second.
All right, so the consent agenda has been approved.
All in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so the consent agenda is approved. Committee reports.
We did have our marketing committee meet immediately preceding this, but I think they will report out under item 8C.
Okay. All right, any old business?
No, there is not.
All right, moving to new business. We already have the election officers, so committees for 2026.
Yes, last year, Jeanette and Paul served on the budget committee. I'd like to, Paul's not here, but I'd like to certainly have Jeanette back. Are you interested in serving?
Yes,
Okay. Would anybody else like to serve on the budget committee?
I will.
Okay. Jerry, do you want to be on it as well?
If you need three, I'll be glad to do it. Sure.
Okay. And then policies and procedures, I'm going to leave that one unfilled now because we may not have work to do on that one. So long-term planning committee, this committee meets once a year and reprioritizes the big goals, the long-term actions. So last year it was Don, Joe, James, and Jennifer. Who would like to serve this year? Don, Jennifer, and Joe. All right. Marketing committee. I'll leave that one unfilled since I think we just did the work at this past meeting that will carry us through the year. So we can move on then to item 8C.
Okay. All right, marketing for 2026.
Yeah, so our marketing firm's contract after 3 years has ended, and it's traditional that I seek a few proposals and present them to the marketing committee. So basically sought out 3 other possible bids. One that is participating in our co-op advertising with Visit Indiana, one that we've worked with in the past that's done creative, and one that does a lot of work nationwide in the tourism space, Madden Media. Madden would not provide a bid because they represent Hendricks County and it would be a conflict. The folks that worked on our co-op campaign with Visit Indiana, unfortunately theirs came back too expensive. They wanted to spend the entire spend on their services and zero on advertising. So obviously we could not consider that one. Ultimately, we came down to 2 proposals. They're in front of you, labeled 1 and 2. And at this time, I will let Don report out on the recommendation of the marketing committee.
After the marketing committee met, we interviewed the staff. We made a recommendation. That we should
Don,
do,
if you put your mic.
after meeting with,
There.
Just maybe you get a little closer to them.
You turn it on.
Okay.
If the bold.
now I see a red light. Where was I? Oh, yes. So the marketing team, which is which is me and Donnie and Jason. We met with some of the staff today and went through these proposals, and also interviewed them about the past work of agency number one versus the proposal from agency number two, and some past work by agency number two. And our recommendation is to go with agency number two. Primarily because the agency number one work has seemed to deteriorate through the years in a number of ways. Let alone the fact that they keep handing us off to seemingly less and less experienced account managers. And that would not be the case with agency number two. There is some more money involved to go with agency number two, but this is primarily due to a year one startup expenses that wouldn't recur. Do you have any questions of us before we would make any sort of a motion?
Which expenses wouldn't occur for the next year, or do we know what it would go
Yeah,
down?
yeah. So obviously an agency's, so you have two costs, basically. The advertising that you spend and then the agency's hours or costs. And obviously to get them up to speed and create things from the ground up, that first year takes more time. The second year, a lot of that's already created and you just tweak it. So then that agency time goes down and you can put more into the spend. So based on that recommendation, I did want to state for the record, as our attorney noted, that this year one contract would be in the amount of $195,000. But I think I'll let you make the motion
Sure.
as you see fit.
I would move that we approve the selection of agency number two going forward, and authorize Ken to negotiate the term of that contract. In other words, they gave us a bid for 1 year, but he can talk to them about maybe a 2-year or 3 or whatever, as long as he does not exceed the $190,000 that we talked about.
If you could make a motion to, why don't you just say how you like the motion?
I would recommend, and this is also in the nature of a professional services contract. When you're hiring professional services, you're not going through the bidding process as if you were, constructing a school building or something like that. Obviously, you received a couple quotes, but in approving the vendor, and I specifically name them, we've referred to it agency one, agency two, also go ahead and approve Ken to execute the contract and any other necessary documents. And I'll review the contract as well before it's signed, so.
All right, so to reiterate, approve the selection of agency number two, authorize Ken to negotiate the contract and sign it on our behalf.
To execute any documents.
Any documents that go along with that.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Let's take it to a vote. All approve, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, passes. Moving on to the discussion about potential business purchase.
Yes, so Lauren, who was on our board, became aware that the building, if you're looking at Planetary Brewing, the building next door that runs from Planetary to the alley is for sale. Well, it hasn't been listed yet, but it would be available potentially price of $499,000. And Lauren just felt, just with her experience with the board, that we should at least consider it. So I was just bringing it to you more like, I think what ultimately we would do is take this and any other ideas we have to the long-term committee. Because you don't want to just bring one idea to you when you might want to put the building up against a mobile visitor center or ice skating or whatever else might be on the horizon for this year. But I did want to see if you had any preliminary thoughts, if you thought we want to get into that type of realm, having a business in another community that we owned, or if you feel that's not our mission. Just want to get some preliminary before I or the staff put much effort in that regard.
As
Do you have any specs on, like, how big is it? What's the vision that is it more of an investment type of purchase? Would it be a secondary location?
So I think Lauren envisioned us having a second visitor center. However, I believe it's our county officials' wish that we not necessarily duplicate that and have more staff. I think they've made it clear that they want us to focus on marketing and product development, helping our communities. So that's why basically I'm just bringing it more for your attention, and you can provide your thoughts, and then we'd go from there. Personally, I would not see the value of a second visitor center as much as procuring it for something like if we wanted to bring some type of attraction in, and us having it and giving it to them for a discount, or renting it to foster that type of development that we want in the downtown. That would be what I would see, but it's a substantial amount of our reserves if we were to do that, and it would limit our ability to do some of the things that are already in our long-term plan. But I do my due diligence and bring it to
You
you.
may recall last year, the long-term committee met, I even proposed that maybe in our long-term vision should be a second visitor center somewhere. And for me, somewhere was Greenwood, because look what this one's done for Franklin. And, but there were a lot of good arguments against a second, what's the not permanent, what a non-mobile, stationary, site. And I would defer to those arguments against it. So maybe might be a good idea someday, but I don't know in the time frame where Planetary wants to sell this building, it's probably not in our interest to pursue.
Does anyone know, is it ready to be occupied? I mean, is it in good shape? Does there have to be renovation done before it can be used? Or
If we were to use it for the purposes that was suggested, obviously, I mean, we put $250,000 into the Franklin location. Now that was demo and construction, then exhibits and furniture and stuff. So you would be talking a total investment of $750,000, and that's
substantial?
substantial.
Right.
When Planetary bought that building, they discovered it needed a lot of work, enough that they almost considered tearing it down. And, there were numbers thrown around back then about having to put $1 million into it. So I don't know how much they have put into it. And they've certainly slow walked that investment. And all the things they thought they might do over there, they never got around to doing. Whether they've, quote, finished the renovations, I have no idea what that status is.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on this, I guess?
Yeah.
Nope. So we'll just table that for the long-term
Yeah,
planning
I'll
and have that.
send it off to the committee and we can talk about it a little more.
If we were going to do it, it's an ideal place. But
Location, it's good.
Yeah.
All right, there are no grant requests under 8E.
Okay, treasurer's report.
Okay. For the tax period November paid December, the Johnson County Treasurer's Office collected $89,965.53, which was down from $94,820.57 for the same month in 2024. Please note, for January pay February report, the Relax Inn and Econo Lodge in Franklin were shut down effective December 31st and cannot reopen until changes are made. At the end of November, the CVT's checkbook balance was $644,282.62. Expenses presented in the month of December total $71,674.77. In December, there were 4 deposits totaling $264.12, and there was $4.95 paid in interest. At the end of December, the CVT's checkbook balance was $553,744.48. Expenses presented in the month of December totaled $95,575.69. These details have been shared on Teamwork for review. Claims are scheduled to be paid following tonight's board meeting.
Do we know the outlook on that ownership? If they plan on making those changes, how much of that we have had in the past that we may not have in the future? Do we have that at all?
I actually met up with the fire chief outside the county council meeting on Monday, and he said The Econo Lodge half is almost done and they can reopen that. The relax portion may take longer. It'll be out of service longer.
But they're committing to making those changes, it sounds like.
If they can,
If
it
they
may be
can.
cost prohibitive to do what they need to do on the other half. So it's still up in the air to answer your question.
Okay. All right, moving to the legal report. Mr. Young?
Thank you, Mr. President. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I do have one thought, speaking about possibly acquiring a building, but there's always lease options, and at this point for the CBT, you may want to expand up into Greenwood, but that real estate investment is very, very risky. I'll just leave it at that. But, leasing something, maybe the long-term planning committee may want to consider that. Okay, about the only update I have for the board tonight is regarding the CBT, or I'm sorry, the Gatling Gauntlet legislation. Senator Walker did reintroduce his bill that he introduced last year. I'm not aware of a bill being filed on the House side, but this year we're really focused on the Senate side. I attended the State House today for an education committee hearing on some other legislation, but spoke with Charlie Hiltunen, who is a very well-respected lobbyist at the State House. Among his clients are the Indiana National Guard. So there's going to be a Judiciary Committee meeting next week, which would be the committee that this bill could be considered in. Senator Cindy Carrasco is now the chairman of Senate Judiciary, who does represent a portion of Johnson County. So I spoke with Senator Carrasco very, very briefly last week about Senator Walker's bill. And after speaking with Mr. Hiltunen earlier this afternoon, he was very interested in with the National Guard seeing this bill also passed. He has a meeting scheduled with Senator Carrasco on some other legislation, but he is interested in having this included or bringing that up to try and get a hearing for that. So I'm going to speak, and also Member Kopp, who is not here tonight, was also reaching out to Atterbury. My understanding is maybe his contact that he was hoping he could speak to wasn't there. But that's where we're at on that. So no promises, but it's alive. I'm going to, again, have some more conversations tomorrow about this. This session is going to move incredibly quickly. On the Senate side, there's, some of these committees are only going to have one committee hearing before they pass the bills, back over to the House and vice versa. So not a lot of time. They're wanting to get out of there as soon as possible, but we're working on it. It's alive right now.
How quickly could that happen then, if they were to bring it and pass it, like?
The way that we had it prepared last year is I requested that it be an emergency order, which would simply mean that as soon as the governor would sign the bill, it goes into law. Most bills will say July 1 is the effective date of a bill unless it's declared an emergency. You'll see some, they'll, say, okay, the next year or 2 years later to give an agency more time. But the bill that I would like to see passed would declare the act an emergency, allowing the county to then go engage with its insurance company again and try and get coverage. So
Yeah, because there's nobody that has to kind of get ready for it or anything. A lot of laws, the businesses have to get ready and prepared, and
yeah,
it takes some months.
my argument why it's an emergency is it's been closed for the last 18 months, 24 months. We need to see it reopened.
Right.
And that would be my argument.
John, and the press coverage this week yet said it still has the language in it about
DOD.
leased land.
Yes, I spoke to Senator Walker about that. If it gets a committee hearing, there will be a committee amendment that will really match it up with the bill Representative Mayfield introduced last year. So we just needed to get a committee hearing. The language will be cleaned up and it will, now there's some discussion, maybe we limit this to Johnson County and Huntington County or that other county up north that has a obstacle course similar to what Johnson County has. But to me, I think it should just apply statewide. But if that is what it would take to just carve ourselves and that other county out to, get it to pass, that's fine with me. So
Sounds like good news.
it's not bad news.
Right.
It's not bad news, but it's tough. And again, because of it being a short session, there's just such a limited time. They are really wanting to get their business done and get out of there.
Right.
So we'll keep working on it.
Awesome.
John,
Yeah.
was there, rumor has it there was a bill filed about CBT boards. Have you heard anything about that?
142.
No, I have not taken a look at it yet, but before I leave, any other questions for me?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
You're right, there was a bill filed.
Yes, there was a bill introduced that would allow the county executive, the commissioners to dissolve a CBT board and take that money and combine it with food and tax money and then spend it for whatever roads, whatever it. So we let our state trade association, Indiana Tourism Association know, and they had already been told by their lobbyist. And he said it died. It makes no sense. I mean,
Right.
you could pave a mile of roads and then all the progress that we've made to help all the businesses and build new amphitheaters and all that would go away. So they saw the lack of wisdom in it.
Well, great.
Who introduced that bill?
I don't have that information. I had it at one time, but
Okay.
if you, what was it? 132, Senate Bill 132?
142, 132. I can't.
Yeah, if you looked up Senate Bill 132 or
It
142.
ended in 42. I don't remember what number was in
Okay,
front of
yeah.
it.
I'll make some comments on that, but because and the legislature will be making changes to SB1, which was passed last year, but the locals are cash strapped, with what they've done to property tax reform. So I hadn't heard about that, but that's low hanging fruit. Now, my guess is across the reasons for why convention and tourism boards were created in the first place by the legislature won't be lost on them. But I could see, hopefully that bill is dead, but local government looking for money, looking at, hey, if we can keep all that innkeeper's tax revenue to pay for roads, bridges, because they're not going to receive it from property tax dollars anymore. That could be something that hopefully the trade association will be very vocal about in the future, because I think you will see more pushes for that. Maybe it's not going to get any traction this year, but it's something that all CBTs across Indiana are going to need to be watching out for. So it's something I'll start keeping an eye on.
Yeah, several years ago, the state of Colorado decided to save a few $1 million by cutting their state tourism agency. They're like, people will come and ski here without it, They saved millions, they lost billions. Utah became the skiing capital. It took 1 year for them to reverse course and restore that funding, and it took a while. It took years, but they were able to claw back some of that market share. So all the progress that's been made, not only in this county, but others. I mean, if you just want people to go to Ohio and Indiana and Michigan, by all means, take that. You'll have a few more miles of roads, and then we'll be set back decades. So that's my soapbox speech to our legislators.
I just wanted to make sure the board was aware.
Thank you. I didn't know.
All right, moving on to the president's report. Besides just enjoying working with you guys, I think that last year we have accomplished a lot. So just want to keep that progress moving. So I appreciate the vote of confidence. Moving to the public comments now.
Or the director's report?
Or, yeah.
Oh,
Unless you, yeah,
You know
it's
what?
it's boring.
I didn't have my cue card.
All right, just wanted to present a few staff highlights. Shelby visited because our grant provided the new lighting for the courthouse, so she came in and got new drone photos of that and a bunch of other stuff while she was around. And then Shelby and Mackenzie ran the 12 days of giveaways, which is one of our most popular things on social media. As you can see, the posts earned like 781,000 views. So if y'all know anything about social media, that's a lot of people interested in that. Website, you can see our December totals, and at the bottom, as the numbers come in, I'm going to highlight things and put those all in our annual report. But we ended up with 386,000 website users. That's up 50,000 from the previous year. So every year, more and more people turn to us as a resource. Again, another busy month for media. And again, at the bottom, I've showed you what happened in 2025. We ended with 83 free articles, broadcasts, podcasts, etc. That was a value of like $250,000. So in addition to what we pay for, we're also really hitting it hard to get that free publicity.
This might be a good place for me to quickly tell my spin doctor's story. So I don't remember who was on the board at the time, but a couple of years ago, we gave WhamFest a grant to up their game and they hired the spin doctors. And they ended up not really following up on that the next year. But today I was listening to WTTS. They played a spin doctors song and the DJ, she said, I was dancing like Elaine Bennis to that song at WhamFest a couple of years ago in Greenwood, and Greenwood knows how to party. So we got some coverage out of that.
Pretty good.
All right, and there's some Placer highlights. What I like there was Franklin's visits were up 10%. Old Town Greenwood was also remains one of the most visited. And you can see we received 4.3 million visits, so tourism is working. And then to the right, that's just one example of what Placer can pull. And also, I had a meeting today with somebody that's thinking of making a sizable investment in downtown Franklin, but they turned to us because there's some Placer data they need to confirm that what their suspicions are of how successful it would be. So that investment that we make in Placer is really valued by our partners, but now also potential businesses.
Would that be a tourism type of?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Smith Travel Report. We're again exceeding our comp set. I just got a couple more reports after that. And again, we're the only ones for those that are even in the 50s. So it's been a strong 28 days there. And then the next 14 are also looking good. And that's our current account balances, providing we don't buy any buildings or anything tonight. So
I don't think you wanted us to see those. That went by awfully fast.
There, yeah.
I didn't even do the nod, but okay, now you can. All right, any questions?
All right, moving to the public comment. All right, we have none. So if anybody doesn't have anybody or anything to add,
I have a couple things.
yeah.
Do we need to re-swear in since we've been reappointed or no? No, okay. Second thing, when you were talking about maybe leasing a second location, if that's something that's in your long-term plan, I know there's I believe the Board and Brush in Greenwood is leaving, so that could be a possible location. If you guys are looking for a second location for leasing something, it's right there at the heart of downtown.
Okay, yeah, I want to
And
convene
even
the
the
committee.
old,
And
the Old Town Jim's place, that building's for lease too.
Okay.
yeah, so I'll convene the committee sooner rather than later, and we'll just for example, a past board president, John Wales, sent me this picture of had to be a 150-foot wide rubber ducky that some town put in, and people come from all over and he's like, you need one of those. So we got a building, we got a rubber duck, we still have the mobile visitor center. So we need to bring all these great ideas together, including the ones that you have, and decide what our priorities are. So
And
stay
who-
tuned for that.
And who loves the rubber ducks? Do you remember?
Jeep owners. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And to verify, our next meeting is February 11th, because at the bottom here it says January 14th.
Yeah.
It's the 11th.
Yeah, user error on that.
Okay,
We'll
I just wanted to
get
double
that
check.
fixed.
Okay.
Say that again?
The next meeting is February 11th.
Okay.
If you go to page 2, the full list is there, so let's. go
Oh,
with
I
that.
see. Gotcha. All right, well. I will move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. We are good.